Imagine holding a coin so mysterious and valuable that even experts debate its true origin. A coin so rare that fewer than 2 are believed to exist, and one example sold for over $30,000 at auction. That's right, today we're diving deep into the fascinating story of the 1964 SMS Jefferson Nickel, one of the rarest and most sought-after modern nickels ever struck by the U.S. Mint. By the end of this video, you'll understand why this coin has collectors and historians still scratching their heads, and how a single discovery changed the way we look at 1964 coins forever. So get ready, because this isn't your ordinary nickel story. This is a mystery of hidden mint experiments, unannounced special issues, and a coin that turned an ordinary year into a collector's dream worth tens of thousands of dollars, and possibly even more in top condition. The year 1964 was a turning point for American coinage. The nation was experiencing a massive coin shortage. Vending machines, banks, and businesses were all running low on circulating coins. To combat this, the U.S. Mint increased production like never before. Over 1 billion Jefferson nickels were struck in 1964, both at the Philadelphia and Denver mints. That's more than any previous year. But buried among those billions of ordinary coins lies one of the greatest modern numismatic mysteries, the 1964 SMS Jefferson Nickel. Now, you might be wondering, what exactly is an SMS coin? SMS stands for Special Mint Set, but here's the twist: the U.S. Mint didn't officially produce any special mint sets in 1964. They were only made for the years 1965 through 1967, so how could a 1964 SMS nickel exist if no set was ever released that year? That's the million-dollar question, literally. For decades, collectors believed there were only 2 types of 1964 Jefferson nickels: the regular business strikes made for circulation, and the standard proof coins struck for collectors. But in 1993, something incredible surfaced. A group of coins unlike any known 1964 nickels appeared at auction. They had sharper details, smoother fields, and a satin-like finish never seen on ordinary nickels or proofs from that year. These coins were later identified as the elusive 1964 SMS Jefferson nickels. The first known set was discovered in the estate of Eva Adams, who served as director of the U.S. Mint from 1961 to 1969. That alone adds mystery to the story, because Eva Adams would have had access to experimental strikes, trial runs, and secret projects inside the mint. When her estate was examined after her passing, a small number of these special coins from 1964 were found, including a Jefferson nickel, a Lincoln cent, a Roosevelt dime, a Washington quarter, and a Kennedy $50, all with identical finishes and characteristics. These became known as the 1964 Special Mint Set coins, or simply SMS coins. Collectors were stunned. How could these coins exist if the mint never released an official set? Theories began to circulate. Some believed they were test strikes made to prepare for the upcoming 1965 Special Mint sets. Others think they were presentation coins, perhaps made for mint officials or government figures to examine a new striking technique. And a few even speculate that they were secret experimental strikes intended to test the new coin designs or materials. Whatever the truth may be, one thing is certain: these coins were never intended for public release, which makes their existence even more fascinating. The 1964 SMS Jefferson Nickel looks completely different from regular nickels of the same year. The surfaces have a distinct satin or matte-like texture, not mirror-like as on proof coins, and not dull like regular circulation strikes. The details on Jefferson's face and hair are much sharper. You can see every strand, every curve. The steps on Monticello are well defined, with crisp lines that pop under magnification. And perhaps the most telling feature, there's no mint mark on these coins, confirming they were struck at the Philadelphia Mint. Another interesting clue lies in the edges and rims. Regular 1964 nickels often show soft or uneven rims due to worn dies and high mintage pressure. But the SMS versions have thick, squared rims with full, sharp edges, a clear sign of careful striking. Each coin appears as if it were individually handled and struck with precision. This is what separates the SMS nickel from every other 1964 Jefferson out there. Now, let's talk about the value, because this is where things get truly exciting. Ordinary 1964 Jefferson nickels, even in uncirculated condition, might fetch only a few dollars. Proof coins from the same year are worth maybe $10 to $20 in pristine condition. But the 1964 SMS Jefferson Nickel, these have sold for tens of thousands of dollars, and in some cases, have crossed the $40,000 mark, depending on grade and quality. One of the most famous examples, graded by PCGS Professional Coin Grading Service, sold for $30,000 to $900 at a Stacksbauer's auction. Another brought nearly $40,000 in a later sale. And because so few exist, fewer than 20 are known each one, that surfaces send shockwaves through the coin collecting community. Imagine finding one of these in a private collection, or an inherited set, and realizing you're holding a coin worth more than a brand new car. That's the dream that keeps collectors searching. So how can you tell if you found a real 1964 SMS Jefferson Nickel? It's not easy, and authentication is absolutely critical. The difference between a regular 1964 proof and a true SMS coin comes down to subtle visual cues. The surface should have a soft, satin sheen, not reflective like a mirror. The details, especially on Jefferson's cheekbone, jawline, and hair, should be razor sharp, with no signs of dye polish lines. The rims are full and squared, and the flat areas around the design, have a smooth, almost sandblasted appearance. The mint didn't use the usual proof dyes or plankets for these. Instead, they used specially prepared dyes that produced a unique texture. So when you hold one under good light, it almost glows differently than any regular nickel. Some numismatists even describe it as having a silk-like surface. Because there are so few known examples, experts recommend consulting a top-tier grading company if you ever believe you found one. PCGS or NGC are your best baits. They've certified every known genuine specimen to date. If your coin isn't in their database, chances are it's not authentic. But if it is, congratulations, you could be sitting on a coin worth $25,000 to $50,000, or possibly even more if the market keeps rising. And let's not forget, as time passes, coins like this only become rarer. Some may be locked away in private collections forever, while others might surface once in a decade at major auctions. With each sale, the legend of the 1964 SMS Nickel grows stronger, and the prices climb higher. A decade ago, these coins sold for around $10,000 to $15,000. Today, high-grade examples fetch over $30,000 tomorrow. Who knows, maybe the next one to sell could break the $50,000 to $70,000 mark. After all, there are fewer known examples of this nickel than some of the most famous U.S. rarities. Another reason this coin is so special is because it connects two eras. It's the final year of 90% silver coinage for U.S. dimes, quarters, and half dollars, and it's also the year before the mint started producing special mint sets in 1965. That makes the 1964 SMS Nickel a true bridge between two major moments in numismatic history. It's like a hidden preview of what was to come, a secret experiment that accidentally escaped the mint's walls. Collectors often compare the 1964 SMS Nickel to the 1964 SMS Lincoln Penny, which shares many of the same mysterious qualities: sharp strikes, satin surfaces, and a nearly identical backstory. Both coins are linked to Eva Adams' estate and are thought to have been struck under similar experimental conditions. And just like the nickel, the 1964 SMS penny has also fetched massive prices, some selling for $20,000 or more. It's believed that these coins were all part of a single experimental project that was quietly shelved, making their survival nothing short of miraculous. Imagine this: back in 1964, a mint technician, following special instructions, strikes a few test coins using newly polished dies and special pressure adjustments. They're set aside, labeled for evaluation, and quietly placed in a drawer somewhere in the director's office. Decades later, after those coins change hands, they resurface, and suddenly, collectors realize they've discovered something that was never supposed to leave the mint. That's the kind of story behind the 1964 SMS Jefferson Nickel, a tale of secrecy, rarity, and pure numismatic magic. The truth is, the U.S. Mint has never confirmed the exact purpose of these coins. There are no surviving records or memos that mention a 1964 special mint set program. But the coins exist, and their characteristics are undeniable. So whether they were prototypes, presentation pieces, or test strikes, their rarity and beauty are unquestionable. And that mystery, that unanswered question, is part of what makes them so fascinating. For serious collectors, the 1964 SMS nickel represents a pinnacle of 20th century numismatics. It's not about owning just a coin, it's about holding a piece of history that shouldn't exist, yet somehow does. Each one tells a story of craftsmanship, secrecy, and chance survival. It's the type of discovery that reignites a collector's passion and reminds us why we search through rolls, auctions, and old estates, because every now and then, a true rarity like this surfaces. If you ever come across a beautifully struck 1964 Jefferson nickel with that silky matte finish and sharp details, take a closer look. It might look ordinary at first, but remember, the rarest treasures often hide in plain sight. Have it examined, have it graded, because that one coin could turn out to be a 1964 SMS Jefferson nickel, and that could mean a payday worth tens of thousands, or even hundreds of thousands of dollars, if demand continues to grow. And think about this, there are likely more of these coins out there. Maybe one is sitting unnoticed in a forgotten collection, or tucked away in an old envelope from a retired mint employee. That's what keeps collectors excited, the possibility that the next great discovery is still waiting to be found. So the next time you're sorting through your Jefferson nickels, don't just look for mint marks or simple errors. Look closer, feel the texture, study the shine. Because the 1964 SMS Jefferson nickel isn't just a coin, it's a symbol of one of the greatest modern mysteries in U.S. coinage. A coin born in secrecy, hidden for decades, and now commanding values that soar from hundreds to tens of thousands of dollars, with potential to hit six figures in the right market. The story of the 1964 SMS Jefferson nickel proves one thing: history still holds secrets, and sometimes, those secrets are made of nickel and shine brighter than gold. So, keep your eyes open, your magnifying glass ready, and your passion alive. Because the next time you flip a 1964 Jefferson nickel under the light, you might just be holding one of the rarest and most valuable nickels ever made, a true numismatic legend worth a fortune.